Hello, everybody. It's Tracy Lewin.
And Van Smith from a very chilly Johannesburg. How are you doing, Trace?
Fantastic, thank you. Well, I'm soon going to be boiling in Dubai, so I'm enjoying a little bit of this cool weather.
Yeah, I'm very jealous.
Well, soon you'll be able to come with me.
Yeah, can't wait.
Or actually organize your flight. Who knows? You can always get a flight now. So Merv, today we're gonna kick off with you, and I'd absolutely love this topic. Have you mortgaged your future? What does that mean?
Well, Tracy, you know, we've been talking about money and about budgets and stuff like that. And last week we spoke about employing that you employ your cash as your secret employee. And I promised that we would get back to having a look at debt. And debt actually is mortgaging your future. So if you think about debt, we get credit and we spend it on something now, but we have to pay it off in the future. So that's where we're mortgaging our future, either for a necessity, but I know in my life, a lot of my debt has come from pleasure and instant pleasure. So this is a topic that I think that we all sort of need to have a look at. I heard a speaker once talk about mortgaging your future, and it just made such an impact. So I just want to briefly discuss some stuff on debt today, and then we'll carry on in the weeks to come, depending on how far we get with it. But the reality is that I can guarantee that 90% of our listeners, and myself included actually right at this moment, do not know how much we are indebted to. So we might know that we've got this credit card, this store account, that store account, whatever, but we have no idea of what our balance is, what our interest rates are, how much do we still have to pay, how long is it going to take us to pay it off, and a lot of us use it as sort of like rotational credit. So we'll pay our credit card and then we'll use that same money again. And so we're just churning it around, and in essence, we just keep mortgaging our future. So my challenge to the listeners today is just give this some thought. Do you want to live today debt-free? And we can do that to an extent. There's good debt and there's bad. But what I would like to challenge us all to do is to list down everything that we owe. Make a list. So sort of do like a spreadsheet or put it on a piece of paper. I don't mind. But list the person that you owe. Woolworths in-store account. How much do you owe? What is the interest rate? And how much do you pay on a monthly basis? And if you didn't spend any more, how long would it take you to pay off that debt? Does that make sense, Trace?
Yes, absolutely. Then at least you have a view.
Yeah. So you're going to then list every single one of your accounts. And then next week, we'll go into what do you do with this information. And I'm suggesting that we should get this list going, and it takes ages in the beginning. And it's actually a painful situation because you kind of look at it and think, oh, my goodness, am I ever going to get out of this debt? Yes, you are. And we'll help you with a plan to get you out of there. But at least get your list going, put everything down. Doesn't matter, even if it's a small sort of personal loan that you have with your husband or a colleague or with your work. It doesn't matter what it is that you owe. Make sure that everything is listed on that piece of paper. Okay, so it's the name of who you owe. What type of account is it? Is it an in-store account? Is it a credit card? Is it a personal loan? Is it an overdraft? What kind of debt is it? And then what is the interest rate? What is your monthly your monthly payment that you make or commitment that you have? And how long will it take you to get that paid off? All right. So you're going to list everything. Mortgages. You're going to list vehicles. Everything. Doesn't matter what the debt is. If you owe somebody, that's a debt. So let's see if we can't work towards, or at least become aware that this credit that we're holding on to is mortgaging our future.
You know what, the credit cards are, and store cards and all these kind of things, they're actually really bad news, because, you know, you have this card, let's say it's you know, going into, you know, you want to buy clothes, you walk in there, you have a look, and you end up, because you have a card, you actually end up buying so much more than you would have bought if you paid cash.
Correct.
And the other thing is, you know, I like this idea of listing all your debt or whatever you owe somebody, because it then makes it visible. Because very often, you know, and I have to say, I was guilty of this in the past, sweeping it under the carpet. Yeah, well, whatever, you know, I'm not even going to think about it. I'm not going to worry about it, and I'm just going to do it. And actually, that's such a bad attitude. And
Yeah.
you know, I know that I certainly wasn't the only one with an attitude like that, and it's caught many people, and it's just not a good way to move ahead in your life and to actually have something.
You know what, I was having a look at the debt that I have, and I thought, you know what, if I didn't have that debt, how many more Bitcoins could I be buying? You know? And that's the issue. You know, last week we were talking about, you know, just cutting back on the odd cappuccino or whatever. But this is even more than that. Can you imagine that if we lived a pretty clean, debt-free kind of life, just with positive debt, because there is such a thing, we would be in a much better position now, preparing for our future.
Absolutely.
So let's get out of our mortgage.
Absolutely. Wow, this is great. Okay, so look, I'm really looking forward to follow-up sessions, and you know, because I think there's so many people out there who need this help, really need this help.
Yeah, we all do.
Fact,
you know, and it's not something.
It's a new industry. It's a whole new industry, because there are so many people that are involved with, you know, to try and help people with their debt and to manage the debt. But if you can just start before you even start with debt.
Yeah.
You know, and just be advised. So if you're a mother or a father listening to this, you know, you need to guide your children. You need to teach them. Yes. This is what you need to do.
Yeah.
Very, very important. Very important. That was a great one, Merv. Thank you.
Good.
And now that we're talking about, you know, empowering people, because basically, if you have your debt under control, you are empowered to do things like you say, buy more Bitcoin. So there are many oppressed women in this world, and there are about 2.5 billion individuals who are either unbanked or underbanked in the world. Okay, so some of these people are obviously men, but most of them are women. And why is it that women are always excluded from the financial ecosystem? You know, why is it difficult to go and open up a bank account? Have you got any insight on this?
You know, I'm just looking from a third world country, for instance. So I know that with the African cultures, the women are almost non-entities. And that is where the sadness comes. So you'll find a lot of people will be left in a remote village, women left in a remote village with the kids, and the men go off to earn. That's why, and because of the remoteness and because of the cultures, I think that that is why we've ended up with this sad fact that women truly have been left out. It's becoming better, but we're not there yet. So that's what we're trying to get to, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? It is going to happen. Yes, it's going to take some time, but it is going to happen. In fact, this week there was an article of a company that they are actually doing a lot of work in rural Philippines. They're putting up all these, you know, internet. What do you call those things? Towers and stuff like that, because they are starting to move into these rural areas so that people can be connected. And obviously, That's where Bitcoin comes in, because many people out there have got cell phones. They may not have bank accounts, but they've got cell phones. So there's a lot of apps that are coming out. I mean, we've only just begun this. So honestly, I really believe that there's going to be such a change, and more people are going to start getting involved, which is a great thing. And it means that we can actually get women into finances and into controlling and having access to money. You know, even if it is from, let's say, migrant workers who are sending money back home, you know, there's opportunities to actually even, there's also companies working on remittance apps, mobile remittance apps. And these are the things that are going to come through and start empowering women. And I'm really, really excited about that.
Well, it is exciting, Tracy, because, you know, the truth is that there is abject poverty, and yet within that, people will have a cell phone. But one day I was driving down a highway in Joburg, and there was an island between the one side of the highway to the other. And there sat this person in abject poverty, speaking on a cell phone. And it was just such a tremendous picture. And I wish I could have stopped to take a picture of it. But that's the truth. And we know with the apps on cell phones, you can run Bitcoin wallets. You can remit money, you can spend money, you can just use your phone. So this is exciting to know that I think, like you say, this is going to bring in a whole new way of life that we're going to be chatting about here.
Absolutely, and studies have actually shown that, you know, the more women have got control over money, that there's more economic growth for their communities, because women are carers, nurturers. It reduces child mortality, increases the amount of education their children receive, and all of this is to break the cycle of poverty, which is vital. You know, we really have to do that.
Absolutely. And it's something that's coming, and we can see it, we can feel it. It's almost like, you know, they talk about the rumble in the ground with the Great Crossing in Kenya and the Serengeti. We kind of have that rumble starting.
Yes. Wow. I love that, actually. I'm going to find a video of the rumble and post it.
That's on my bucket list, is to get to Kenya and just experience that incredible phenomena of nature, of the crossing of the wildebeests.
Wonderful. So that's what's going to happen with Bitcoin and women, and really, because we really need to break that cycle of poverty. But how are we going to do this to empower people? How are we going to, as Bitcoin believers, and I know that there are many Bitcoin believers who listen to this program. Well, basically, we have to go out there and we have to talk to people. We have to educate people. We're at the bottom of the slope or of the incline of education, educating people about Bitcoin and what it can do for you, the power of Bitcoin.
Yeah, it is about educating.
It is about educating. So what we've actually done is we've actually got a Bitcoin education series going, and it's free. And you know, you just the person would just need to you know, subscribe to the YouTube channel and watch those programs, connect with us, ask us questions. We're happy to help you. I mean, Merv, you're doing a sterling job, even, you know, chatting to people on WhatsApp, all about you know, because there's just such a lack of knowledge. There's such a lack of knowledge.
And misconceptions, you know. It's just incredible with some of the questions that are coming up. I just feel privileged, really, to be able to dispel those myths, you know, that are out there, because it's all new.
You know what? I've just thought of another. I've just thought of another a topic we can have for one of our future shows. Yeah. Maybe you can give us, you know, take those questions, compile those questions, and then answer it. And we'll, you know, those are then typical questions, frequently asked questions. So let's do that.
We'll do that.
Yeah, definitely let's do that, because clearly, you know, the people out there are wanting to know a lot more. So, so we call upon everybody really, you know, to start talking about Bitcoin and start educating people, but also starting themselves if they haven't started yet. So, you know, as we said last week, it's about employing your cash as your secret employee. You know, start turning things over. Start saying, well, do I need this or do I want it? Start thinking about, you know, where you can cut so that you can buy some Bitcoin. And of course, obviously, we're going to say, start a Bitcoin wallet. That's the first step, really. Get your Bitcoin wallet and start buying, and just get into this revolution.
Absolutely. And you know what, Tracy, one of the things that's been mulling over in my mind, and I don't know the relevance really going forward, but we've spoken about that you've got to have a wallet, okay? Just like you said, you have to have a wallet. So I think what we should do is do a video on some of the things like what types of wallets could you get anywhere in the world. So like a local Bitcoin wallet or a blockchain wallet or things like that, and how to put the two-factor authenticator on. But once you've got your wallet, if you don't physically have cash right away to start putting some Bitcoins in there, at least open a faucet. Go and click twice a day or 3 times a day and get a few Satoshis in there. There is nothing more exciting than realizing that you're on the right road. And that is one way to do it. I'm not suggesting that you sit all day on a faucet, but at least start putting something in there. Somebody said once recently, I can't remember who it was, said that, you know what, a Satoshi could at some stage end up at $1,000. We don't know. We do not know where the price is going to end where Bitcoin is concerned. All we know is it has tremendous value now. We've seen last week you showed those incredible charts of where it's been just in 12 months. So put some Satoshis in a wallet, at least start. Once you've got yourself going, you can help others to do exactly the same. And that's what we're talking about, right? Empowering others to do that.
Correct. Yes, that's a very good idea, and I think we can come up with some suggestions as well. Yeah, so honestly, as we said, or as we always say, you know, it's just about taking that first step and taking a leap of faith and getting involved.
Yes, 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 yes.
And we've come to the end of our show, and of course, it's lovely to end off with Dr. Maya Angelou. What an awesome lady she was.
She's just such an amazing woman, was such an amazing woman.
Yes. So this is the quote for today. You may encounter many defeats, but you must not be defeated.
Great way to end the show, Tracy. Thank you.
Absolutely. So there you go. Any last words from you, Merv?
No. Just get started. If you haven't, get yourself a wallet, get some faucets going. Maybe we can list a few under today, but just get going, guys. Just get going and don't be defeated.
Absolutely not. Okay, well then on that note, cheerio, and we'll chat again next week.
Yes, thanks. Bye, guys.
Bye.